Alright, another Mayhem machine video. We finished off last video I broke the backhoe. Just a couple of new bolts on the backhoe levers. Things good as new. A little bit of grease. Just did a job today with it. Still earning its keep. It's working again. No major issues. And as far as the project from last time, the stump removal, I got most of it done. The ground's still a little soft, even though I put a bunch of gravel into it. Trying to build it up, fill the low spots. But I figure between this winter and next spring, it'll settle down. It'll pack, and it'll be just fine. There's a couple of stumps over there I couldn't get out. They got to be rooted into the ledge. I worked around them and all I hit was ledge, so there must be some roots going right into the ledge. Another time I got plenty of room to move the trucks around and get in and out of here with the equipment when I need to this winter plowing. It's going to be way nicer for plowing instead of having to worry about sliding off to the right a little bit and trying to push snow over, get a better path, keep it open this winter. And getting stuck, it'll just plow right down through and push it up into a bank, be done with it. So what I'm working on today is our brand new plow, brand new Fisher Polycaster sander, I don't know if it's 2021 model or 2022 or 2020 model, one of the two. Anyways, a lift piston for this plow, Iroquois in Vermont, who built my dump body, was really nice and told me, hey, what's your serial number? They contacted me, asked the serial number of the plow. I sent them a photo of it, and they said, hey, there's a recall on that lift piston. We want to send you a new one, get you all fixed up, ready to go for the winter. Make sure you're all set. They asked if I didn't mind replacing it. Told them sure, it's just 2 pins and a hydraulic hose, it's not that hard. But I've come to the conclusion I want to replace it right here because it's been sitting here all summer rather than put fresh fluid, or I'm sure there's hydraulic fluid plenty in the piston and everything, but I figured for some reason I think it's a good idea just to do it right here, not put it on the truck. And then I've got to put the shoe kit on, so I'll put it on the truck for that, bring it down to the shop. But I figured the piston would be really easy. Go ahead and do that here and get it all set up. The shoe kit is right there, ready to go. The brand new piston's right there, hydraulic fluid. Really can't wait to try out these LED lights on this new Fisher plow. My old plow, even with the high beams on, nobody would notice. It was just ridiculous. You're trying to drive around at night, plow customers' driveways. You can't even see where you're driving. It's the latest, greatest thing for Mayhem Machine. Just got the truck lettered up. I don't know if you can see it very well over there. Do a quick walk over. The new truck's all lettered up, ready to go. Now people will know who's doing the work. Hopefully they'll like it and give me a call. Let's see how it goes. But I think it looks pretty sharp. The green is my favorite color. The M and the symbol there, the logo, that's an M, not a flame. It looks like a flame, but whatever. There's some meaning to the orange for me, so I like it. It looks sharp, easy to read on the side of the truck. Like I said, I took it to a job this morning and they absolutely loved it. They said it looks great. Should get me some customers. Hopefully it does. Anyways, back to the plow. Still trying to get ready for the winter too. I'm way behind. I should have had this plow done weeks ago. Should have had the sander ready to go. The sand. Just finished cleaning out this bay of the pole barn. Now I got to get some. I'm going to use stone dust. It's my first year having a sander. I'm used to having no sander at all. Having customers ask me, hey, do you sand? And having to say, nope, I don't have a sander. So this year, bought the new truck, bought the new plow. Just throwing a few rocks out of the way. Decided to, if I was going to finance a truck and plow anyways, go ahead and get the sander while I was at it. That way I've got it, and hopefully get an ice storm, or we get more ice storms and snowstorms this year. I can just go ahead and make money with the sander instead of the plow. Alright, I'm going to go get some tools. We'll get this piston off, changed out. Looks like a couple of cotter pins. A couple of cotter pins and that hydraulic hose. Should be all set. But as soon as I get that done, get to see if I can even figure out how to put this plow back on the truck and move it down to the shop. That could get interesting. Alright. Tools, yeah, I shouldn't need a pin punch or anything. It should come right apart, right? Why not? Hopefully you can see good up on that post. It's actually the sander's spreader unit. I don't have much for GoPro mounts and posts and pedestals. I don't have any of that stuff yet, so I'm trying. Learning as I go. Let's see. Pull this out. See how that goes. Now, of course, it doesn't want to work. Of course. Come on. It just wants to spin on me. Okay, at least the pins aren't rusted together. Still don't know what's wrong with this piston as far as why it's on recall, but if you want to send me a new piston, tell me it's on recall. I'm assuming there's a big enough problem with it that I don't want to deal with it this winter. I don't want to be in a customer's driveway explaining why there's still a foot of snow on the driveway. I can't get it off. Of course, it's going to be difficult because I got the camera on me. Nice big cotter. There you go. I haven't even plowed snow with this thing yet. The weather's doing. That would be much longer. Let's put that in the vise. Flatten that back out. This one looks like they were nice enough to get in our way. It's going to be kind of difficult to get back up. Great. Come on. It looks like they only bent one ear on there, so that's good. Saved me a little bit of trouble. the two pins should be all loose. They're free. They didn't do anything silly like put the pin going out on the other side, so I can't get it out. It looks like they did it all. Yeah. Clearance all over. Somebody was actually doing their job at engineering. That's cool. We want to bet it's metric. I'm betting that's a pretty good chance that it's metric. We'll try fraction first anyways. Lead for punishment. Wow. Pretty fitting. Oh. And this one we're looking for? It is. Wow, looks like it's 3/4 inch. 3/4, that ain't too bad. And of course glued the piston out. Figured it would. It's blue. That's cool. That's a good way to tell if it's power steering leaking or engine oil leaking, or in this case plow leaking. The color of the fluid. That's what I was running my old plows, the blue stuff. Figuring if I started seeing Smurf piss in my driveways, I knew I had a problem. A little sooner on the pins being in a good spot. I'm getting it though. The wiring harness out of there, I didn't damage that. A little bit pressure from the top, no big deal. One thing I would complain about: no grease, no oil, just a nice dry pin that's going to get all rusty. Rust together. Yeah, I'm glad they contacted me. Iroquois so far has been really great. I'm more than happy to answer questions. They're great about getting the project or the truck upfitted with one of their dump bodies. It is the Iroquois dump body. They are the manufacturers of it. Let's see if I can get this out without hurting myself. That probably won't happen. Oh, there we go. Looks like I got it. Come on, hose. I don't want to piss out any more fluid than I need to. Oh, she's all there. That camera looks like it's walking its way down. Probably is. Time for the new piston. Use some good tape on this box. Come on out of there. Wow. Randy new. That's nice. Which way did that go in again? Yeah, I'll figure it out. Here's new pistons side by side. Other than the nice sticker, I don't see much of a difference. Casting size looks the same. I got to switch that fitting over to this one. Hopefully I don't need a new O-ring seal or anything. Hopefully it just bolts right on. The only thing I see bad about this one is it's corroding like crazy up here. I don't know Something wasn't treated right, hardened right. I don't know. Huh. I thought I ordered the 1.8 cubic yard sander. According to that sticker, I got a 2.5 cubic yard. Okay. Okay, so there's one thing Iroquois kind of messed up on. Hopefully I paid for a 1.8 and got a 2.5. Don't tell them that. But I'm going to go ahead and try to set you down again. Get this piston in before the battery runs out. This time I'm going to set you a little closer. I have no clue what the angle's doing for you. You could be looking at my coat for all I know, but you probably are. Like I said, I'm new to the YouTube stuff, so you guys might be looking at me, you might be looking at the plow. I don't know how they do it. They seem to know what they're doing though. Alright, I'm going to go get some grease for this, or Never Seas, instead of putting it back together dry, I think. Alright. Back at it again. Some Never Seas. At least I think I do. Well, it seems to be almost empty. Great. Come on. This one went on top, or this one went on the bottom? Any difference? This one went on the top. That should help it a little bit. We got fittings facing towards that way. This pin went in. Where did it go in? Oh, there, this way. There we go. There, that's in. Okay. So you got the top pin in. Try to grease up the bottom pin. Trying not to get this on my hands, because if you do, it goes everywhere. This one goes in this direction. Uh-oh. See a problem. That's not good. It's turned. It's not good at all. So that means I'm going to have to pick this up. Oops, they got a big spring on it apparently. Yep, they do. You can't take off easily. Now can I get this to spin? Like that. That's how I can get that to spin. So now I gotta try to fight the spring. There, it's in. All I gotta do is put the cotter pins in, a couple of, do the hydraulic fitting, top off the fluid. I'm sure it didn't use much, but yeah, call it good. Alright, back from the vise. Bent pretty well straight. Brain used, you might say. Look like they're the same size. Again, I'm going to coat them with some Never Seas. So we all know these like to rust in there, never come out again. So usually I get to cut or break the ends off and get the piston out, and then take a pin punch and punch them out, or worst case scenario, drill them out. They just don't like to come apart and go back together after 20 years of being used, you know? It's kind of weird. Let's see here. Need to turn that down so I can do that via this. Come on. There we go. No, that's good for it. Just throw it anywhere. Just throw that anywhere, it'll be fine. Just fine. There we go. Helps if you can see what you're doing. I don't know why, but it does. Shift that over. Do the same with this one. Coat it up a little bit. Not that I ever plan to take this apart again, but I didn't plan to, you know, spend the money I did for a new plow and then have to take it apart in the first place. But at least they told me what was going on. That, hey, there's a recall on this before the season starts. You know, they told me this spring, actually, which I really appreciate. Instead of letting me get out in a snowbank and have whatever's the reason for the recall happen, whether it breaks or the packing's no good or whatever the problem is, I really appreciate that they just said, hey, you bought this from us. It's got issues. We want to help you fix those issues. They would have taken this up there and done it for me if I wanted them to. It's just, it's a couple hours up to Iroquois. Where are they out of? Hanesburg, Vermont. It's a couple hour drive. It's hard to find time. So I told them I'd do it myself instead of making them do it. They didn't seem to mind that too much. Come on. I don't know if you remember or not, but this one's going to go in this way now. I don't know if it did before, but it's going now. think I can get better access to it. Keyword is think. Not very good at that, but we'll try. Let's bend you a little more. Come on. A little more so I know you don't come out. There we go. Perfect. There. Cotter pins are back in, pins are back in. Everything's bent enough that there's no way it can come out. So that's good. Now all I need is take the old fitting off the old piston and put it on this piston. Well, that popped off easy enough. Oh, you guys get the wrench. Why are you stealing my tools? Not nice. I'm telling you right now. How can I set this up? Something like this. There, can you see what you're doing? Good. At least one of us can see what we're doing. That should work. And survey says too big. Next size down. Yeah, that's the ticket right there. 11/16. It's a 3/4 for the hose. 11/16 for this nut. And it looks like there's no O-ring seal. I'm sure you guys, somebody out there. Oh, there is an O-ring seal. I spoke wrong. I'm sure somebody out there in YouTube land knows exactly what kind of fitting this is. I don't. But I'm going to try to put it back together the way it came apart, and hopefully everything works. Let's see here. This spinning widget goes in here. Ruh-roh. Contact with the pin, that's not good. There we go. We only needed that one turn anyways. See if the hose comes back down to it or not. Looks like it does, just fine. That should work. I don't know if it's pointed back or not, but it's going to be now. I won't crank that on too hard. This here can go on to here. Click. Right to torque spec. And that looks pretty decent. I don't know if it's supposed to be turned back that a little bit, but one on the pump is. Looks like it's giving it plenty of room here. I like having room on the hoses. I don't like them up against stuff. It's just asking for trouble. So I'll put a little fluid in. Sure, I'll make a mess of everything. I wonder if this thing has a dipstick. Huh. Built up a little pressure over the summer. That's where it goes in. Right there, apparently. Really wish they had a dipstick. So it says change fluid annually. So if I bought this in March and only used it to take it home from the dealership, does that count as, you know, should I change that annually? You know, it's not like it's a season on it or anything. I think it'll be fine. Should be just fine. I haven't plowed a single inch of snow with this thing yet. And we didn't use much fluid there, so I'm just going to put a little bit in. Just enough to fill that line back up. Top it off. Then I'm going to do something I usually don't do. Get the instruction manual out and read how to check the fluid level properly. I know, that's a crazy idea. I'll do it. For the sake of the plow, I'll do it. But just add a little bit. It's got a capsule blow off vent by the feel of it. Feel it moving around. See, there's broken. It's a blow-off cap. Let's check. Yeah, it's a blow-off cap. So even if I did overfill it, it's just going to blow up through here and out there. It's a vent cap. I'm seeing how I had some pressure in there. That's kind of odd. Whatever. So that's it. New piston installed. All nice and pretty. Pin's got a little never sees on it. Now that's the only thing I took apart was those. Took these two pins out, took this fitting off, and switched it out. I didn't disconnect the spring, didn't need to. As you saw, I just put a pin punch in the bottom of the piston, turned it a little bit, and I picked up on the front a little, on the lift arm there, picked it up, and it should be all set. I'm gonna find out tomorrow though. It's time to go cook dinner. Tomorrow I'll attempt to drive the truck in here and figure out how to hook this thing back up and get it on its feet there, and then we can go ahead and try to put the feet onto the plow over there. Get it so I don't tear up my customers' driveways, because it is not frozen yet. It's kind of frozen this morning, but it is not frozen enough where I can go plowing up here and not tear up everybody's driveway and have them very, very upset with me. So, do a little picking up and catch you tomorrow. We'll, like I said, see if I can figure out how to mount this thing again, see if I have the hydraulic line fitted up good so it doesn't leak, and see what happens, and then take it down to the shop if I can get it on and get things going again. Hard part's going to be putting this sander in. Now, it's a really nice sander. It's not that it's heavy, it's apparently 600 pounds empty, something like that. The problem is, it's usually just me around here, so yeah, grease it up good, and I might need to use a strap and a little assistance from the tractor to help me slide it back up into the truck. But first, I've got to haul in sand for this bay, fill that up, get it so I actually have some sand for the customers' yards. Or option B would be get the truck all set up, put my old 89 square body over there to work, make that thing earn its keep. That thing's already earned its keep way too many times. Great truck, diesel, 6.2 liter diesel. I think it's an SM465 transmission. It's a manual 3-speed. Technically it's 4. It's got a low and then 3 speeds, but everyone calls them 3 speeds from what I understand. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the morning. I know it automatically switches. I don't know if it's okay to have the truck running or not. This really could use some dielectric grease. That one ain't easy enough. Should, it's brand new, I guess. And this widget goes like this. Two caps are just going to float in the breeze, nothing to plug them. They'll be full of sand and salt and snow in no time. That's great. That'll be great when I take it off. Alright. Let's see if it works. Hope so. Well, the truck automatically detected that there's a plow on the truck. Seems to be working fine. Man, I hope that's a good plow. It's kind of scary. You go from a plow you're used to all the time, been running it for 10 years or 11 years, going to a brand new truck, brand new plow, untested. The customer's waiting for you to get their driveways cleaned out. It's a little scary. Alright, I'll bring it down to the shop. We can get the shoe kit on. Good thing that has a scoop and V function, or else it wouldn't fit. It's a 10-foot door and a 9'6" plow. Yeah, it might just barely fit. Anyway. Okay, so what we're going to do now, the plow's in the shop. Just going to add the shoe kit, number 50700, for the XLS Extreme V XV2 Plow. This one's an XV2, brand new from Fisher, getting it ready for the season. So I left it up, 2 reasons. One, I think it'll be a lot easier to connect and install the shoe kit down there. Another reason was we put that piston on yesterday, a new piston from Fisher. I wanted to see if it had any leaks or anything like that. As you can see, it does not look like there's any leaks down there whatsoever out of either joint. Don't see anything dripping. It's holding the plow up just fine. Seems to function perfectly normal. Only thing I see that I don't particularly like is they've got, whoever set it up has this chain tight on this side, this one flopping in the breeze. I usually try to get both of them holding up the weight, so if something ever happens, it's not gonna, well, unless it breaks this link up here, it's not gonna just drop and jolt. Say it broke down here, or broke off down there on the mount. That'd be more common. So I'll probably, the other thing about having more slack in here, I know it's a Fisher, this new setup that I'm not used to yet has a spring that pulls the piston down, so you get more going down a driveway, it slopes downward in front of the truck, it'll follow the contour still instead of leaving a nice little patch there on the driveway, and the customer gets pissed off when there's an inch of ice at the peak of their hill. So I'll have to look into that, probably adjust that to this link at some point, or this link, depending on where it evens it out, get it a little more even. I don't know if it really matters, but it's probably something I'll do once I start using the plow. I'll have to fiddle with it and get me happy with this new plow setup. That's quite the piece of metal. I don't see any Zerk fittings to grease this. It looks like you can spray some weasel piss in there, so I'll probably do that. But let's go ahead and open this box, see what we get in the kit. These kits aren't cheap, but neither is explaining to a customer why half their driveway is now on their lawn. Instructions. Okay. So we got a shoe, we got adjust height washers, mounting plate, and 2 bolts, and the pin. Let's see if we got everything we're supposed to have. Should have 4 bolts. Yeah, I see 4 bolts there, 4 nuts. Cool. 2 mounting plates, a bunch of washers, really big heavy shoes. Looks like it's all symmetrical. Maybe not. Nope, pad's offset. That means it only goes on one way. So we can look at the mount. Somewhere down here. Right here. So I don't have to worry about putting it on backwards or anything. It can only go on one way. Looks like it'd be large hole off center towards the front. And it goes like that. This shouldn't take long. Famous last words. Now it'll be 10 hours. Alright. I'm going to get some tools and then get started on this. Alright. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing. Got plenty of never sees. Like I said, I got a couple of jack stands under the plow. So if something happens to that new piston we put on yesterday, it's not going to kill me. Hopefully. So, I don't know how many of you have had plows in the past, but my experience is everything on them rusts up, and you're going to be using the liquid bolt maker, getting things pretty much melted to get them back apart. You know, the torch, not the tiki torch either. You're gonna be using some heat. So I'm putting a bunch of never seeds on here in hopes that if, say, that pipe breaks off the flat plate or something happens where I got to replace these or repair them, I'll actually be able to get it apart within a couple of minutes, not a couple hours, and you know, all the fighting and everything else that would go along with it. Seeing how it's, you know, down here, that's a fun place to work on stuff. Glad I got the shop, or else, yeah, I've spent enough time in the snowbanks at 10 degrees, fixing brake lines, pasting plow mounts, doing all kinds of fun stuff, getting it so I can keep the truck on the road, get the jobs done. Nice. Plenty of never sees. They show in the instructions putting the bolt down through. That's going to do a couple things for you, honestly. It's should make it easier for me to get this thing lined up, because I only got two hands, so I can hold the bolts will be in the holes, holding in place to an extent, and I can just slide this plate up, hold the plate up with one hand, and try to put some nuts on with the other. The other thing it does, if you ever do have to take it apart and it's all rusted together, the nuts are on the bottom, so you can hopefully get in here with an angle grinder and cut them off if you had to, and punch them up through with a hammer. As you know, stuff rust welds together. Yeah, that should be plenty. Never sees. I should never have any issues. Famous last words. One bolt, two bolts. Well, that's not very good. I think it'll work. It's going to wear in. But their weld is so proud here, it's actually pushing the plate down. Huh, that's interesting. You'd think they would grind that down knowing that they have a shoe kit that goes on. I don't think it's going to mess it up a lot. It will allow salt and everything to get in between, which I'm not a big fan of. But I'll bolt it up. Like I said, that nut only goes on so far because it's got the bend on it. So it is a lock nut of sorts. I just want to make sure that this shoe, obviously if this is on an angle a little bit, the shoe's going to have a high-low spot and it's going to wear even, obviously, actually going down the road, getting used. Does not seem to have any binding issues when I have it held up in place. Must be enough clearance in that hole that it doesn't matter a lot. Try to get it bolted up. Now those nuts are, they aren't going to come off too easy. Yeah, see that one's already getting tight. I had to put the DeWalt up on the number 3 just to get it to go on. Before I put this tight, I'm going to go ahead and put this in. As you can see, it's got plenty of play. And I can't put that on completely leave it on like I was about to do, because then I'd be blocking the nuts, but it looks like everything's going to bolt right out and work. Should be really, really nice. It doesn't happen too often. Yeah, that's right, the torque spec. About 10 ugga-duggas. It's all good. That's not coming off there without a wrench. Very good impact. So that goes up on. Washers are your spacers, so as I use it, I'll have to put the washers down here to lower my shoe, which I could do right now. Probably should. I've only got one customer right now that has a paved driveway. That's the only time I would want to really have these up. Everyone else has a gravel driveway. Even though this plate's off an angle a little bit with that proud weld, it looks pretty parallel to the cutting edge. I think I will do that though right now and go ahead and lower this down. That way I don't forget it and tear up somebody's driveway. Looks like we're going to need I don't know if I want to put all of them on or not. See how it looks for space. That's with all of them on. That's going to lift the blade off the ground by about, let's say, 1/4 of an inch. No, chickens are invading. I don't know why these chickens love the garage. I mean, I raised them in here when they were chicks, but they just invade the place. Whether I'm in here or not, obviously whether equipment's in here or not, they just, I don't know. I don't understand it. Let's see here. I'll put that up. So all the way up, it's going to give it about 1/4 inch of space at the bottom. And I'm just going to go do the other side and we're done. Going to do the same thing we did the other side. Get it all nice and cleaned off. Never sees it. Same weld showing on this side. That's going to make it a little proud. Tilt it a little bit. Just got a flat plate going over it. No big deal. Gotta say, I'm really happy how the holes lined right up, no issues. But is this good? Like I said, I'm new to this YouTube stuff, so I'm trying to adjust you guys so everyone can see what I'm doing here. Figured this would be a helpful video because these plows are still fairly new, and if you're getting a shoe kit, or you need to replace that piston for the recall, might help somebody out. Or might answer some questions if you're looking to make this shoe kit yourself like I was thinking about doing instead of spending the money. They aren't cheap. It's a few $100 and it seems like a pretty simple piece of material for a couple $100, but how much is your time worth? How much is the steel currently going for? I mean, if you got a bunch of steel in your shop at home, you don't have to buy it, I suppose. It doesn't make for too bad of a deal. But if you got to buy all the materials, mold it, the holes you got to drill them all, do some machining maybe. Like I said, I got a couple of jack stands holding this plow up, so I'm not too worried about getting under it. Otherwise, I wouldn't be getting under it like this. Thing weighs like 1,000 pounds if I remember right. Again, that seems to line up just nice. Need my wrenches. Hold on. Those are just snugged. I'm going to make sure this still slides up and down in there. This seems to be just fine. Plenty of free play. That should work just fine. I lost count. Hope you counted them for me. Like I said, 10 Alga-Duggas, I think was the torque spec. Should be just fine. So the other side, I put all the washers under it. And do the same over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 washers total. Put that on. These pins here are actually a little bit the next size up from what I had on the Myers plow on their shoe kit. Those ones just hanging there. They did, you know, from the weight of the shoe bouncing up and down going down the road, that did actually bend them. Go to Tractor Supply and get some new ones, no big deal. Looks like everything under here is pretty nice though. It's all bolted up, all lock nuts. Looks like a nice plow, really nice welds. Looks plenty rugged. So after a couple of months of putting it off, I finally have the new piston on, which, like I said, no leaks. I'm happy with that. I'll have to check the fluid level again. Plow went on no problem. Well, you saw it. It had a little bit of difficulty. It's the first time I put it on. Thought it was a little interesting that the lock for the lock lever, when you pull the jack out, it releases that. So you kind of got to pull that lever, put the lock and lever up, then lift your jack. Just little things I got to learn with this new plow. It looks plenty rugged. I'll probably spray some silicone or some grease onto the center piece there, the pivot. In the middle, there's some holes on it. Should take some spraying grease. Yeah, there's the shoe kit all installed. Now they aren't going to be that low when the plow is down. There's at least a 1/4 inch of space between those washers and the mounts right now, so they're hanging down a little bit. As soon as I put the plow down, they'll push back up. All right, I can show you. So it's going to be about a 1/4 inch off the ground, which for a soft gravel driveway probably be all right. When things freeze up, I'll put them up and leave them up until spring. This plow looks pretty sharp, I gotta admit that. That's on the V sides. Holy crap, are they huge. I mean, I'm pretty much 6 feet tall, and it's at least as... When that thing's down, it's got to be at least my waist height, if not higher. But yeah, that's going to end the video. Thank you for watching. Hope in some way, form, this video was helpful to you. Like and subscribe if you can. Let me know if you got any feedback for ideas or anything like that I should try to do. Whether it's ideas for the truck or videoing, or any tips you might have for making videos. The next thing I'm going to do is the top of the stone shield for the dump body. I've got the beacon light off my old truck, and I want to mount that up there on a plate. I bought a piece of steel. I'm going to put some radiuses on it, weld an angle iron onto it. I don't really like putting it on the roof with a dump body, because then nobody can see the light behind you. I know I should just buy some more strobes for behind me. Trying not to spend tons of money right now, especially with the payment for this thing. It's got to start earning its keep, you know. So I'm planning to put my old, it's a nice beacon light, the wide LED one. I'm going to put that up there, run the wires down the length of the dump body and back up to the under the hood to the auxiliary switches. Get that all wired up, and yeah, the truck should be ready to at least start plowing. I mean, yeah, I'd like to put LEDs all over the thing, make it... I like to make things obnoxiously bright, because people, even when you got your 4-ways, you got some flashers on, they still can't seem to see you. I don't know why, but as soon as I bought that big LED beacon light for the top there, the light bar, I could definitely notice people at night coming around corners and stuff. I could see their headlights coming at me and know that I gotta get out of the road, but I'd notice that their headlights would start slowing down before I could even see the car coming around the corner, which I thought was great, because before just had a little spinny light, and I'd use the 4-ways, and yeah, they would be doing 50 and a 30, a couple inches of snow on the road, come around the corner, and there I am trying to get out of the way. It's not fun. Just trying to plow people's yards, trying to take care of my own yard, keep things open and functional, and yeah, some people need to slow down in the winter. If it's snowing out, if it's freezing rain, slow down. 4-wheel drive doesn't make you stop, doesn't make you steer, just helps you go if you're on a little bit less traction. Alright, again, thank you everybody for watching. Have a great day.